On December 4th, 2016, a shooting incident occurred at a pizza shop in Washington, D.C. in the middle of the day. While families were peacefully eating, a man went into the shop with a rifle and began shooting. The reason he did this was because there were false tweets widely spread on the internet, claiming that this pizza shop was the base for a pedophile sex ring involving Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton. The operators of the pizza shop began receiving threats from right-wing activists who believed the tweets are true. What's more, the growth of social media in the past decade has made fake news particularly influential. Fake news is extremely dangerous. It risks lives, divides our country, influences our elections, and threatens democracy. However, fake news is not a new concept of the modern digital age. At the end of the 19th century, American journalists Randolph Hearst and Joseph Pulitzer created yellow journalism with sensationalist stories about the Spanish occupation of Cuba, over-exaggerating the harsh treatment of the Cubans, and reporting fake causes of the sinking of the USS Maine in 1898. Their influential but baseless claims created an atmosphere conducive for conflict, and the US declared war on Spain that same year. Nowadays, the accessibility of social media has made misinformation even more influential. A 2018 MIT study found that false news traveled faster, deeper, and further than true news, and was 70% more likely to be retweeted than true news. A 2017 article revealed that leading up to the 2016 presidential election, people clicked on pro-Clinton fake stories on Facebook more than 7.6 million times, and pro-Trump fake stories more than 30 million times. In total, Facebook users clicked on and read a fake news story 760 million times in the months leading up to the election.
Certainly, I think it's really caused a big threat to our election system. When you have 75% of the Republican supporters of Trump believing that Joe Biden didn't win the election, that's scary to me. And certainly, Trump's claims about winning the election, those conspiracy theories, led to events like January 6th, because people were saying the election was rigged, and I think, a lot of people truly believed that it was rigged.
The recommendation algorithms that social media has recommends us content catered to our shown interests and information that supports our point of view. This system creates dangerous echo chamber situations, and we start to be convinced that our opinions are the only correct opinions.
And so I think that really results in a lot of the partisan divide. We have groups of people who see the world completely differently.
Nowadays, it's easier than ever to fall unknowingly into the trap of fake news.
I remember in COVID there was a lot of misinformation going on. One information that stuck on my dad was that he read somewhere that if you drink hot stuff, the virus in your body gets killed. Anytime he went out, he used to do hot steam inhalations. His sinuses became very sensitive and he used to cough a lot. He figured out, he was looking at false information, and that's how he got this idea.
But overly restricting and regulating internet content can encourage censorship and authoritarian leaders. However, there are many other ways to combat fake news without endangering freedom of expression. First, social media companies should strengthen their accountability by making it easier to flag stories that may contain false info. As consumers, we need to be cautious and skeptical of all news we see, which may seem obvious, but it's easy to forget that we have a natural tendency to search for and favor information that supports our own point of view, whether or not it is true. This is known as confirmation bias. We all have a responsibility to combat this, and you can do so by following a diversity of people and perspectives. Encourage and support professional independent news sources. High-quality news sources such as these do not take sides, and instead it informs people of the hard facts, making them trustworthy sources. In addition, it is a good idea to fact-check any news you see using websites such as politifact.com and factcheck.org, especially if the story was not published by a trustworthy news source. Last but not least, don't engage in fake stories. Instead, dispel them by spreading the facts. It is our responsibility to educate ourselves and reduce any further spread of fake news that could be detrimental to our society.